Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. It's Croak, and today we're going to be going on our number 8 on our countdown for the top 10 best businesses to buy, which is the Counterfeit Cash Factory. So again, I'm Croak. Welcome to the video. Smash that subscribe button to join the Croak crew, along with liking the video to help with the algorithm. Let's get into it. So in the last video, we covered the cocaine lockup, which earned the number 9 spot on our list. Today we're moving up to number 8, and that business is the Counterfeit Cash Factory. Now, the Counterfeit Cash Factory is one of the most underrated businesses in GTA Online. When most players think about money, they immediately focus on businesses like the Acid Lab, Nightclub, Agency, Kasaka, Bunker, or the Cocaine Lockup. Because of that, the Counterfeit Cash Factory often gets overlooked. However, it still has several strengths that make it worth considering. It's a passive business that generates product while you're doing other activities. It supports your nightclub warehouse through cash creation. It has a lower startup cost than many of the top tier businesses in GTA Online, and it can provide a steady stream of income once it's fully upgraded and running effectively. That being said, it isn't perfect. The profits aren't as strong as a cocaine lockup. The sell missions can sometimes be frustrating for solo players, and newer businesses introduced by Rockstar have pushed it down the rankings over the years. That's why I wouldn't recommend buying a Counterfeit Cash Factory as your first business, but once you've built a solid foundation with some of your stronger money-making businesses in the game, it can become a valuable part of your overall business empire. In this video, we're going to cover everything you need to know about the Counterfeit Cash Factory, including the best location, startup costs, upgrades, profit potential, nightclub synergy, pros and cons, and whether it's still worth owning in 2026. By the end of this guide, you'll understand exactly how the Counterfeit Cash Factory works and why I placed it at number 8 in my GTA Online business rankings. Let's get started. For part 2, we have the Counterfeit Cash Factory locations and best location. Before buying a Counterfeit Cash Factory, the first thing you'll need to decide is which location you want to purchase. There are 4 Counterfeit Cash Factories locations available in GTA Online. Starting with the cheapest option, we have the Grand Senora Desert Counterfeit Cash Factory for $845,000. Next is the Paleto Bay Counterfeit Cash Factory for $951,600. And after that, we have the Route 68 Counterfeit Cash Factory for $1,267,500. And finally, the most expensive location is the Vespucci Canals Counterfeit Cash Factory for $1,605,000. Now, technically, all 4 locations function exactly the same. They all produce the same product, they all generate the same profits, and they all have access to the same upgrades. The only real difference is location. And location matters because it affects how long your sell missions take and how easy it is to move around the map. For that reason, my recommendation is the Grand Senora Desert Counterfeit Cash Factory. Not only is it the cheapest location available, but it's also located near the center of the map. That central position makes it sell missions easier and reduces travel time compared to Paleto Bay, which is located far to the north. The Grand Senora Desert location is also close to other important businesses like the Sandy Shores Airfield, MC businesses, and many popular money-making activities. Route 68 is another solid option, but the higher purchase price doesn't provide enough additional value for most players. As for the Vespucci Canals, you're paying nearly twice as much as the Grand Senora Desert location while receiving the exact same product rates and profits. Because of that, the Grand Senora Desert Counterfeit Cash Factory offers the best overall value and is the location I recommend for most players. If you're looking to maximize your return on investment, this is the location to buy. Now that we've covered the locations, let's talk about the real cost of running a Counterfeit Cash Factory. One mistake a lot of players make is looking only at the purchase price of the business. In reality, the purchase price is just the beginning. To maximize your profits, you'll want to invest in upgrades. The Counterfeit Cash Factory has 3 available upgrades. First, in the equipment upgrade, which costs $880K. This is the most important upgrade for the business. The equipment upgrade increases production efficiency, allowing the factory to produce more product from supplies while also improving production speed. Next is the staff upgrade, which costs $273,500. If you're planning to run the Counterfeit Cash Factory long term, both the equipment and staff upgrades are absolutely essential. Without them, production is significantly slower and profits are much lower. The third upgrade is a security upgrade, which costs $456,000. This upgrade reduces the frequency of raids, but it does not eliminate them entirely. If you're actively running an MC business and frequently letting stock build up, the security upgrade can be helpful. However, for most players, it is the least important upgrade and can be purchased later. Because of that, my recommendation is to buy the equipment upgrade and staff upgrade immediately and treat the security upgrade as optional. So what does that investment look like? If you're following my recommendation and purchasing the Grand Senora Desert Counterfeit Cash Factory, the business itself costs $845K. Adding the equipment upgrade for $880K and the staff upgrade for $273,500 brings your total recommended investment to approximately $1,998,500. That's a setup I recommend for most players. If you decide to add the security upgrade later for an additional $456K, your fully upgraded investment increases to approximately $2,454,500. While that may seem expensive, the upgraded business performs dramatically better than the base version. If you're short on money, it's often better to wait until you can afford the equipment and staff upgrades rather than purchasing the business and running it without them. The increased production speed and improved efficiency will help maximize your profits and pay for those upgrades over time. In the next section, we'll take a look at exactly how the Counterfeit Cash Factory works and how supplies are converted into product to generate passive income while you're playing at GTA Online. For part number 4, how the Counterfeit Cash Factory works. Now that we've covered the startup costs and upgrades, let's take a look at how the Counterfeit Cash Factory actually works. The Counterfeit Cash Factory is a passive business. It means once it's set up and supplied, it will continue producing product while you're playing GTA Online. The basic process is simple. First, you'll need supplies. You'll either steal supplies through resupply missions or purchase them directly from the laptop inside the business. For most players, I recommend buying supplies. While stealing supplies can save money, it usually isn't worth the time compared to other money-making activities available in GTA Online. Once your supplier arrives, your workers will begin converting those supplies into counterfeit cash. As long as the business has supplies available, production will continue automatically in the background. You don't need to remain inside the business. You can complete heists, run missions, manage other businesses, participate in events, or simply free roam around Los Santos while production continues. And also important to remember that the Counterfeit Cash Factory only produces while you're actively in GTA Online session. If you're offline or not connected to GTA Online, production will stop until you return. Over time, your stock bar will begin to fill. As stock increases, the value of your business grows. Once supplies have been converted into stock, you'll need to sell the finished counterfeit cash before production can continue beyond your available storage capacity. When it's time to sell, you'll have two options. You can sell locally for a smaller payout or sell to Los Santos for a higher payout. In almost every situation, I recommend selling to Los Santos because the bonus payout is worth the additional travel time. One thing to keep in mind is that larger amounts of stock can create multiple delivery vehicles. This can make solo sales more difficult if you allow the business to completely fill up. Because of that, many solo players prefer selling after a single purchase batch of supplies has been fully converted into stock. This helps keep sell missions manageable while still generating steady profits. The Counterfeit Cash Factory isn't the most profitable business in GTA, but its biggest strength is that it generates money passively while you're focusing on other activities. It's a business that works in the background, allowing you to build additional income while running the rest of your criminal empire. In the next section, we'll break down the actual profit potential and see how much money the Counterfeit Cash Factory can generate when fully upgraded. For part 5, we have profit potential and earnings. Now let's talk about the most important question: how much money can the Counterfeit Cash Factory actually make? To answer that, we're assuming the business is fully optimized with the equipment upgrade and staff upgrade installed. We're also assuming you're purchasing supplies rather than stealing them, since that's the method most experienced players use. Every time you purchase supplies, you'll spend $75,000 for a full supply bar. Those supplies are then converted into counterfeit cash while you're playing GTA Online. For many solo players, one of the most popular strategies is purchasing a single batch of supplies, allowing it to fully convert into stock and then selling the product to Los Santos. This helps keep sell missions manageable while still generating a counterfeit or consistent profit. When sold to Los Santos, a single purchase batch of supplies typically generates approximately $140K to $150,000 worth of stock. After subtracting the $75K supply costs, that leaves a net profit of roughly $65K to $75,000. Now, those numbers might not sound incredible compared to some of the best businesses in GTA Online, and that's because they aren't. The Counterfeit Cash Factory is not designed to be your primary moneymaker. Businesses like the Ass Lab, Agency, Nightclub, Kasaka, and even the Bunker can generate significantly more money. However, the Counterfeit Cash Factory offers something extremely valuable: passive income. While workers are producing counterfeit cash, you can be completing heists, running missions, managing other businesses, participating in event weeks, or simply enjoying the game. The business continues generating stock in the background while you focus on more profit activities. Looking at the bigger picture, a fully upgraded Counterfeit Cash Factory can reach approximately $294K in local stock value, or around $441,000 when sold to Los Santos at full capacity. Of course, reaching full stock requires multiple supply purchases, so you'll need to factor those costs into your overall profits. That's why I view the Counterfeit Cash Factory as a supporting business rather than a primary business. On its own, the profits are decent, but when combined with your other businesses, it becomes another reliable source of passive income that slowly grows your bank account over time. That's ultimately why the Counterfeit Cash Factory earns a number 8 spot in my GTA Online business rankings. It's not the best in the game, but it's a solid passive income source that can still play an important role in building your criminal empire. In the next section, we'll talk about the Nightclub synergy and explain why many players continue to own a Counterfeit Cash Factory even if they rarely run the business itself. For part 6, our Nightclub synergy, now let's talk about one of the biggest reasons players continue to own a Counterfeit Cash Factory in GTA Online, and that's a Nightclub synergy. If you own a nightclub, the Counterfeit Cash Factory unlocks the cash creation category within your warehouse. This allows you to assign a nightclub technician to generate additional goods while you play. What's important to understand is that the nightclub operates independently from the Counterfeit Cash Factory itself. Your Counterfeit Cash Factory does not need supplies, it does not need stock, and it does not need to be actively producing counterfeit cash. The business simply needs to be purchased, set up, and operational. Once that's done, your nightclub technician can begin generating cash creation goods automatically. This is one of the biggest misconceptions newer players have about the nightclub. Many players assume they need to constantly run their MC businesses to support nightclub production, but that's not how it works. The nightclub creates its own goods separately from your MC businesses. As long as a business exists and hasn't been shut down, your technician can continue generating warehouse stock. Because of this, many veteran players rarely interact with their Counterfeit Cash Factory after purchasing it. Instead, they keep it active primarily for nightclub production. Over time, those nightclub goods can contribute a significant amount of additional income. And since the nightclub sells everything through a single vehicle, many players prefer collecting profits there instead of regularly running MC sell missions. It's one of the biggest strengths of the Counterfeit Cash Factory. And if you're eventually going to stop running the business itself, it continues providing value through the nightclub. That's a major reason why I've ranked it above businesses like the Weed Farm and Document Forgery Office. The Counterfeit Cash Factory isn't just a standalone business, it's also a supporting asset that helps improve one of the best passive income businesses in GTA Online. The next section will break down the pros and cons of the Counterfeit Cash Factory and determine exactly where it succeeds and where it falls short compared to the other businesses on our top 10 list. For part 7, pros and cons, now that we've covered the location upgrades, profits, and nightclub synergy, let's take a look at the pros and cons of Counterfeit Cash Factory. We'll start with the positives. The first major advantage is passive income. Once supplies are purchased and production begins, the business generates stock automatically while you're doing other activities in GTA Online. You don't need to constantly interact with it, making it a convenient source of background income. The second advantage is nightclub synergy. The Counterfeit Cash Factory unlocks the cash creation category in your nightclub warehouse, allowing a technician to generate additional goods automatically. For many veteran players, this is the single biggest reason to own the business. Another positive is the relatively affordable startup costs. Compared to some of the most expensive businesses in GTA Online, the Counterfeit Cash Factory is accessible for players who are still building their criminal empire. It's also stronger than several lower-ranked MC businesses, particularly the Weed Farm and Document Forgery Office. When fully upgraded, can generate consistent profits with minimal effort. Now let's talk the negatives. Biggest drawback is profitability. While the Counterfeit Cash Factory can make money, it simply doesn't compete with businesses like the Ass Lab, Agency, Kasaka, Nightclub, or even the Bunker. If your goal is maximizing profit, there are better options available. Another downside is the sell missions. Some MC sell missions can be time-consuming, especially when multiple delivery vehicles are involved. This becomes more noticeable for solo players trying to manage larger sales. There's also the possibility of raids. While upgrades can reduce the frequency of raids, they can still occur if you're actively running MC businesses and allowing stock to build up. Finally, Counterfeit Cash Factory doesn't stand out as a must-own business for new players. It's best viewed as a supporting business rather than a primary money-making method. Overall, the Counterfeit Cash Factory sits comfortably in the middle tier of the GTA Online businesses. It has enough strengths to remain useful, especially because of the nightclub benefits, but it doesn't generate enough profit to challenge the top businesses on the list. In this next section, we'll give our final verdict and explain exactly why the Counterfeit Cash Factory earns a number 8 spot in the GTA Online top 10 business rankings. So part 8, final verdict and ranking. So where does the Counterfeit Cash Factory rank in GTA Online? After looking at the startup costs, upgrades, profit, potential, nightclub synergies, strengths, and weaknesses, place the Counterfeit Cash Factory at number 8 on my GTA Online top 10 business rankings. The reason is simple. The Counterfeit Cash Factory is a solid supporting business. It generates passive income. It works in the background while you're completing other activities, and perhaps most importantly, it provides valuable nightclub synergy through the cash creation category. For many veteran players, that nightclub connection is what keeps this business relevant. However, the Counterfeit Cash Factory also has some limitations. The profits are respectable, but they aren't exceptional. There are several businesses in GTA Online that generate significantly more money with less effort. Businesses like the Acid Lab, Agency, Nightclub, Kasaka, and Bunker all provide stronger earning potential. Because of that, I wouldn't recommend the Counterfeit Cash Factory as one of the first businesses a new player should purchase. Instead, it's a business that becomes more valuable as your criminal empire grows. Once you've already owned some of the top tier businesses, the Counterfeit Cash Factory becomes another useful source of passive income, another asset that supports your nightclub warehouse. Overall, I consider the Counterfeit Cash Factory a good business, but not a great business. It's reliable, it's useful, and it still has a place in GTA Online, but isn't powerful enough to compete with the very best money-making businesses in the game. That's why it earns a number 8 spot on my list. If you're building a complete criminal empire, it's definitely worth owning. If you're looking for the absolute best return on investment, there are stronger options available. That wraps up our look at the Counterfeit Cash Factory. The next video, we'll move up to number 7 on the list and take a closer look at the Bunker, one of the most important passive businesses in GTA Online, and a major step up in profitability. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and let me know where you would rank the Counterfeit Cash Factory in GTA Online. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Croak, and I'm out.